Hi, my name is Tessa. Thanks for joining me today. We're going to start out in a nice, comfortable, seated position. Sit up tall, feel your head stacked over your shoulders and your shoulders stacked over your hips. And when you're ready, you can allow your eyes to close. Let your hands rest on your knees, your thighs, or in your lap, whatever's comfortable. Relax all of the muscles in your face and your jaw. Allow your shoulder blades to sink down your back and let your arms be heavy. Feel your breath as it moves through your body. Allow your belly to be soft. Relax your thighs, the tops of your legs, your calves, and your feet. Begin to listen to the sound that your breath makes. Try to follow your breath as it moves through your body. Notice any sensations, any areas of tightness or of tension. And try to soften and relax those muscles. And when you're ready, blink your eyes open. Let's begin with some shoulder shrugs. Use an inhale as you bring your shoulders up towards your ears. Exhale, reach them back and down. Do that one more time. Inhale up. Exhale back and down. Place your right hand directly below your right shoulder. Turn your left palm towards the front. Use an inhale as you reach up towards the ceiling and an exhale as you start to come over. Anchor down through your left hip and feel that space that you're creating between your ribs all along the left side. Try to feel length from your left fingertips all the way down to your left hip. Press the ground away from you with your right hand. Make sure there's lots of space between your shoulders and your ears. And when you're ready, turn your left palm up towards the ceiling and use an inhale as you sweep it up. And an exhale, let it fall all the way down. Reach your hands back behind your back. Interlace your fingers, straighten your arms. Take a big inhale as you lift your heart. And then try to keep a flat back as you exhale. Hinge at the hips and slowly come forward. When you feel as if you've come as far forward as you can with the flat back, you can let your spine curve, let your head fall forward, and let your hands float up towards the ceiling. Make sure that you're not holding any tension in your neck. Make sure you can shake your head yes and no. And when you're ready, use an inhale and lead with the back of your head. Come all the way back up and release your arms. Bring the soles of your feet together for Baddha Konasana, bound angle pose, and place your hands around your toes or tuck them underneath your ankles. Try to have a nice long flat back. Take a big inhale and grow through the spine. As you exhale, hinge at the hips, lead with the heart, slowly come forward. Come as far forward as you can with a flat back. And when you're ready, you can allow your spine to curve and allow your head to fall forward. When you're ready, use an inhale, come all the way back up to sitting. Let's bring our legs out in front of us and come into a forward fold. As you inhale, imagine someone's lifting you up from the crown of your head. As you exhale, use a flat back, lead with the heart. Come as far forward as you can first, like you're trying to take your chin out over your toes. Notice where you're feeling the stretch most intensely and direct your breath to those areas. When you feel as if you come as far forward as you can with the flat back, you can allow your spine to curve, slide your hands forward on your legs, let your head fall forward, and then try to let gravity take over and do all of the work. Shake your head yes and no, release all the muscles in your neck. On your next inhale, start to roll back up to sitting, stacking one vertebrae on top of the other so that your head is the last to come up. From the seated position, cross your legs so that you can come up into a tabletop. Bring your knees directly under your hips. Bring your wrists and your hands directly underneath your shoulders. Untuck your toes so the tops of your feet are able to relax on the mat behind you. Let's do a couple rounds of cat-cow here, warm up the spine. Use an inhale as you let your belly sink towards the mat and you look up towards the ceiling. Imagine that you're lifting up through your shoulders and your hips like you're trying to connect the crown of your head back to your tailbone. Take a big inhale here. When you're ready, use an exhale and arch the opposite direction. Take your gaze towards your belly button. And really press up through the heels of your hands and feel that space between your shoulder blades. Inhale, lead with the heart, come back the opposite direction. Try to move all areas of your spine and then go back and forth with your own breath at your own pace. And if there's any spots that feel particularly good, maybe just stay there and enjoy it for a moment. Take a breath. From tabletop, walk your hands one hand length forward. Spread your fingertips nice and wide and turn the insides of your elbows to face one another. Tuck your toes and use an inhale as you straighten your legs, lift your hips, press the ground away from you, and slowly lower your heels towards the mat. Make sure that there's lots of space between your biceps and your ears. Feel as if you're pressing your shoulder blades up your back towards your tailbone. Look up between your hands, and on your next inhale, hop, step, or float your feet up to meet your hands and come into an Uttanasana forward fold here. Your feet are directly below your hips, about hips width distance apart. Make sure that you're not locking your knees. There's a slight bend there. And really let your upper body go. Try to let gravity take over. You're using zero muscles, zero effort. And if you like, you can cross your arms or just let them dangle, whatever's more comfortable. Bring your hands to your shins. Use an inhale as you come halfway up. Gaze between your eyebrows, flat back. Exhale all the way back down. Open up your arms to T and use an inhale as you reverse swan dive, leading with the back of your head. Come all the way up to standing, arms overhead, palms together, and exhale them down to heart center. Find yourself in Tadasana or mountain pose. Take a big inhale as you reach up, look up towards the ceiling, slight back bend. Exhale, lead with the heart, swan dive, come all the way back down. Bend your knees enough to set your hands on the mat, and on your next inhale, step your right leg back, coming into a low lunge. All 10 toes are facing forward. You're up on the ball of your back foot, and your back leg is nice and straight. Press back on that back heel, and then let your hips sink down a little bit. Make sure that your left knee is directly above or behind your left ankle, but never crossing in front. And see if you can shine your heart forward a little bit. Use an inhale as you straighten your front leg. Take your forehead towards your knee. Exhale as you sink all the way back down. Step your back foot up a little bit so you can start to find your balance. And when you're ready, use an inhale and lift the upper body, coming into Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1. Your shoulders and your hips are squared towards the top of your mat, and all 10 toes are still facing forward. You're up on the ball of your back foot. Press back on that back heel. Let your hips sink a little bit more. Imagine someone places their hands on your shoulders and they pull your upper body back a little bit so you can bend that front knee a little bit deeper. Bring your arms back behind you with your palms facing up. And when you're ready, use an inhale as you reach up towards the ceiling and straighten your front leg. Exhale, bend the front knee, sweep your arms forward, down, and back. Inhale, lift. Exhale, sink back down. Bring your hands to your hips and rotate your right foot so you can set it down. And if you were to draw a line from your front heel, it would line up with the middle of your back foot. Square your hips and your shoulders towards the right side of your mat. And when you're ready, lift your arms up to T. Slide back with your upper body a little bit, bend that front knee a little bit deeper. Turn your palms up towards the ceiling. Use an inhale as you straighten your front leg, reach your arms up overhead. Exhale, sweep them back down. Windmill your arms forward and down. Place them on either side of your front foot and rotate your back foot so all 10 toes are facing forward again. Set your hands underneath your shoulders, and when you're ready, use an inhale and step your left foot back to come into plank. Allow your shoulders, your hips, and your ankles to be in one nice long line. Press back on those heels, squeeze your belly button in and up towards your spine, and then shine your heart forward. Remember to breathe. When you're ready, slowly lower yourself all the way down onto the mat, untuck your toes, and slide your hands forward so that your elbows are directly underneath your shoulders in Sphinx pose. Make sure that you can look over one shoulder and then the other, and then you can look up. If this feels good, you can stay right here. If you want to take it a little bit further, just straighten your arms and walk your hands back to a place where you can still keep your shoulders down and back, and you're always able to look over one shoulder and then the other. Slowly lower your upper body all the way down. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders if they're not there already. Tuck your toes, squeeze your belly button in and up, and use an inhale as you press yourself up into plank. Exhale your hips up and back to downward facing dog. Let your heart sink towards the mat. Shake your head yes and no. Allow your knees to come down onto the mat. Untuck your toes. Keep your toes together as you walk your knees apart about as wide as the mat, and then press your hips back towards your heels and allow your heart and your upper body to sink and rest down on the mat. You can let your forehead rest as well in this Bhaktasana or devotional pose. Lift your gaze and then use an inhale as you press your hands into the mat and walk them up towards your body. Bring your knees together so you're in a kneeling position, and then let your hips fall to one side or the other and bring your legs out in front of you. Bring your left leg out to the side, bend your right knee and bring the inside of your right foot to the inside of your left thigh. Square your shoulders towards your extended leg. Take a big inhale here, find length through the spine. As you exhale, keep a flat back as you hinge at the hips. Come as far forward as you can first, and then you can allow your spine to curve and let your head fall over your knee in Janu Shasana or head to knee pose. Make sure that your right leg is relaxed. Use an inhale as you roll all the way back up. Find yourself in the middle of your mat with your legs out in front of you, and slowly lower your all the way down onto your back. Using an inhale, bend your left knee in, interlace your fingers around your left shin. Check in to make sure that your shoulders and your hips feel level on the mat. And then take a big inhale, fill your belly with air. And as you exhale, squeeze your left knee towards your left shoulder, giving a good squeeze to the entire left side of your body. Use an inhale to bring your forehead towards your knee and make a little ball. And an exhale as you lower all the way back down. Straighten both legs out. Bring your arms to your sides with your palms facing up. Allow your eyes to close and allow your breath to return back to its natural pace and its natural depth. Try to soften all of the muscles in your body again, starting with your face, your jaw. Feel your chest rise as you take a big inhale. And feel it sink, soften, and relax as you exhale. Relax your arms and your hands and your fingers. Allow your belly to be soft. Relax your thighs and your calves and your feet and your toes. And for the next few minutes, relax in Shavasana. Allow your breath to move freely through your body. Bring some movement back into your limbs, wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, and slowly make your way up to join me in a seated position. Thank you for joining me today. I hope that you enjoyed it. We'll see you soon. Namaste.